Welcome back, everyone, to another phenomenal episode of the Vegans Who Live podcast. This is brought to you by your favorite vegan hosts. We have Brooke Sellers, aka Miss Meatless Muscle, and myself, John Thomas, aka the Bodybuilding Vegan. And today, I'm not even going to lie, this is a very special day for me because we have an amazing guest here, someone I'm really looking to connect with deeper and get to know more. We have him by his stage name, Feldi. So if you've heard of him on YouTube, Spotify, he's out there in the animal rights scene. And let's get you to just say your actual full name, sir. Maybe a little bit of background info on you, like what makes you tick. Just a couple things to get people to know you a little bit better.
Well, thanks so much for having me. First of all, really appreciate that. I love being, on podcasts or on interviews to, help spread the message. My real name is Daniel. But yeah, as you said, my stage name is Feldi, and also my nickname. Friends call me Feldi, so that's how the stage name kind of came together. And yeah.
Okay, cool. I didn't know that. All right, Feldy. Brooke, have you heard of his music before, or is this relatively new for you as well?
It's new. I heard about his music through you. But yeah, I think this is our first artist that we've had on the podcast, right? I don't think we've had an artist yet.
Wow.
Yeah, woot woot. Our first artist being there. I'm sure we've had other people that do music or things on the side, but first full-time artist, yeah. Good point. Very good point. So I mean, this is the Vegans Who Live podcast. I know you work out some, but I think that from what I've been able to gather through social media, activism and it looks like mostly rapping is kind of where your niche is. Is that correct?
Yes, that's absolutely correct for sure. Yeah.
Okay. And you are vegan, correct?
Sometimes, it's hard to be vegan. I'm obviously joking. I don't want to. I'm obviously joking. Of course, I'm vegan and will always be.
Yeah.
No,
People
no
still...
sit down videos where I'm gonna say, guys, I'm quitting veganism. So.
We see it a lot with celebrities and stuff. I think people gravitate towards it because it's an extreme and it can get you some exposure. But I think that at least the three of us, and four if we can include Sean in the background, the four of us here are diehard vegans, going to be this way until the end. So also thank you for making the timing work. You're 6 hours ahead of us all the way over in Italy. Is that where you've been based your whole life?
Yes, pretty much. So I was born and raised in Italy, and so my mom's Polish, so I'm half Polish, but yeah, I've been born and raised in Italy, and I spent some time in Australia as well. Okay. Pretty much where I spent most of my life.
Very cool. I've been to Italy one time. Brooke, have you been out that way?
No, I haven't, but that is certainly on my list. I really want to go there.
My mom just booked a trip with her and my sister. I think they're going out there in July to go do all the touristy stuff and get their first experience there. So very cool. All right, changing gears because we used to do this. Let's slow down. We'll get back to the interview side of things. But one thing we like to do on the podcast, just to kind of keep everybody up to date with everything, is do our wins of the week. So if we have a volunteer that might want to go first, anybody have any wins of the week? Actually, Brooke, I think you have a win this week.
Yeah, I do. I do have a pretty big win. My cookbook is officially available for pre-order. It'll probably be available by the time this podcast goes out. But yeah, all high protein vegan recipes. I worked so freaking hard on all of these recipes, and it took me really years to put together to, be able to come up with all the recipes and how to cook high protein meals. And yeah, so it's really exciting. Yeah, if anybody's interested, make sure to check out my Instagram. I have the link in my bio, so you guys can go ahead and pre-order it.
Wow, congrats. Happy
Thank
for
you.
you.
Guys.
It's I know it's always such a good feeling to, breathe after working so hard for something and then being able to share it with people and get feedback, help people get reactions, and yeah.
Oh yeah,
and it's all vegan.
All vegan. Yeah, I'm excited to see how people like it. Of course I'm a little nervous and anxious. Like I hope it lives up to people's expectations, but there's some pretty good stuff in there. So, I hope people like it and enjoy it. But yeah, I'm excited for it.
I ordered my copy too, so I am excited. Brooke and I've over the years have shared some recipes. I know that you use so I didn't know this. This is a complete sidebar, but I posted my seitan recipe that I showed you way back, Brooke, on Reddit in the seitan subreddit, and people lost their minds. They're like, "You're supposed to." Oh, we got fire. For those of you that are watching,
everything.
But they're like, "You're supposed to wash it before you do that. You got to run under the water and wash it and like clean it and like all these things." And I was like, "Oh, well, I've never done that." And then people are like, "Wait, you can skip that step?" And now there's like 30 people and they're like, "Oh my God, I tried it and it worked. And it's going to save me hours every week." And I was like, all right.
Sorry,
sometimes
you have to wash what? Seitan?
I guess when you mix the vital wheat gluten like with the water, you're supposed to wash it until the water runs like clear. That's what this like group on Reddit was saying. Like these people that make seitan all the time.
Yeah.
And so I make it differently, but it works for me. And so a lot of people tried it and like the next day they reported back that it works just fine. It saved them a bunch of time. So recipes can take a while to grow and develop and change over time. My win of the week. We're almost at a full week. Every single day in February, I've weighed over 250 pounds. So I am officially cured from my sickness that I had in Puerto Rico. Like when I came back from Puerto Rico in December, I was 234 pounds. So we are back on the gain train, trying to grow. I've taken kind of a step back from the competitive bodybuilding side, but I still want to get bigger. Allie's like, "Wait, you're trying to get bigger?" I'm like, "I'm always trying to get bigger." She's like, "No, you're big enough." I was like, "No, never, never." So, I'm trying to grow. But Feldi, how about you, sir? Any wins so far this week or last week?
Yeah, there actually is, and it's not like official right now, but I'm releasing a song. New songs coming out on Friday, so I don't know what day is it today. It's Thursday, but it's midnight soon here, so I'm so excited. I haven't been as excited for a release for this long, so yeah, super excited.
Congrats.
Yeah.
How long does it take to make a song? Is that something you could do in a day, or does it take weeks, months?
I mean, I wouldn't be as excited if it would be just another song. I mean, obviously I'm happy with my songs. When I release them, I'm happy with them. Otherwise, I wouldn't release them. But this one is a special one to me because it's a metal version of Exposed. Like, I don't know if you guys know the Exposed song. It's like my #1 animal rights track, and I made a metal version out of it. So it just hits different, and I'm so curious how people react to it because I just love it. I got a feature on there, and yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. Can't wait.
Yeah,
Exposed is on my gym playlist. So
yeah, sick. Cool. I appreciate it.
I don't know how I never thought about this before, but like there's activism in like shirts, or I try to do it in the gym or with food. I don't know why I never thought to look for music. And I typed in like vegan rap and your stuff came up. So
I think that track that is gonna come out at midnight today, you're gonna like be, how many pounds did you say? 250?
I'm 250.
You're gonna be 260.
I love it. We'll get some extra food and grow. So like for this one though, how long did it take for you to, I guess, almost like remix your own track, going from the original Exposed to the new one?
Sorry, I'm really bad at answering questions, so you gotta remind me sometimes. So this one, I don't know. I had this idea of making a metal version of tracks that I already have, and this one, I don't know, took me maybe a month. Not because a month of actual work every day. It's just more, someone who fits the vibe, coming up with some different lyrics as well, finding the positions of the vocals where some heavier vocals would fit, getting the instrumental redone, that it's like hitting different, and then mixing, mastering. So yeah, it takes about a month. And then I shot a music video this week as well that's gonna come out as well the next few days. So yeah, it's hard to answer a question of how long I take to make a song, because sometimes I finish a song in a day, in 2 days, if I'm really locked in, or if the flow allows me, because I feel like I'm not the one writing the song. It's like something that's flowing through me, and I'm just putting it down. It's hard to remember how it happened, because it's something happened and it was there. And sometimes it takes 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or you just leave it there and come back to it at another point with you finalize the song. So yeah, it's always a journey.
Very cool. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
So do you make the beats yourself, or do you have someone who helps you with the beats? Do you have like a team of people?
So I used to buy them on like websites where you can like outsource beats and you just purchase the rights. Then I started to produce my own stuff, but I didn't really like love making the beats because I just prefer hearing something and then jumping on the beat instead of making everything from scratch. So now I have I'd say a go-to producer that I have, where I just like tell him my ideas and he cooks the beat up for me, and I'll just jump on it and do my thing on there. I prefer that because I have something that kind of makes me feel something, and I have way more ideas instead of coming up with an idea from scratch. And then I have like 100 ideas and I don't know which one to go with. And when I hear something, I'm just like, okay, this is the type of vocals or lyrics it needs.
Very cool.
I wanna get more into the background side of things. So, turn down my mic a little bit. I wanted to know, like, normally when we talk to lifters, it's like, did you go to the gym first, or did you become vegan first? How did that train go? So for you, were you always into music and then you got into veganism, or other way around? Like, how did this start, and then when did they get blended together?
By the way, I'm actually a licensed personal trainer as well. So I have some lifting background too, but I just kind of not gave it up at some point, but I lost the dedication for like, competitive training. It wasn't like more, I'm just trying to get bigger, be super locked in with training. I just preferred taking it easy and just stay healthy, or like just train less than before. But that was, I don't know, like 8 years ago. I used to train like 5 times a week, weigh everything, like every meal, and I even wanted to compete at some point, but I was pretty young still, so I was like, it's not gonna really work out. But yeah, that's another story. But yeah, I got into music, but never really thought about making my own music. I just enjoyed listening to, Lil Wayne, Eminem, all the OGs from back in the days. And then I became vegan in 2019. And I became an activist as well. Like the next day I started doing activism. I didn't wait like until something else came to me. No, I turned vegan. I was like, okay, wow, I get it. Everyone should be vegan now. What can I do more? So I turned vegan, an activist the next day. And yeah, at some point, I don't know, music just was an important topic in my life again. And I don't know, I just thought, wow, this is so cool. I want to make my own music, and started covering songs. And at some point I found out, wow, I can write my own lyrics if I just try and stick to it and practice. And yeah, that's how it all happened. And that was like 2 years ago. So I'm still new to this, but yeah.
Okay, I did not realize it was that recent. So you're still figuring all this out, man.
Yeah.
Cool.
Still going with the flow, but you know, I'm really enjoying it.
Well, I want to say thank you for your activism. I've been vegan for 19 years. It sounds like you've probably been vegan around 6 years. However, my activism,
5.5.
Activism for me was not something that I jumped right into. I was bullied a lot, so I didn't want to speak up or speak out. I kind of just wanted to be small and blend in. So I think it's awesome that switch was flipped for you so quickly. What for you was the turning point that led to veganism and then activism the next day? Like where did you become aware of this?
Yeah, so when I was 16, so 11 years ago, I was at an all-you-can-eat restaurant, and that's where I turned vegetarian because I saw all these like animal parts and all that stuff, and that's where it first connected. I was like, this isn't meat or just fish. These are animals. They come from somewhere, and that's where I immediately turned vegetarian. And I would say mostly stick to that. I had some exceptions where I didn't still, make the full connection, or I thought, oh, if they're, if it's wild caught fish or if they're well looked after. So I lived like that for, I don't know, 3-4 years. And then 2019, when I was in Australia, I bumped into a Cube of Truth. And I got outreached by AV, and I had a conversation with this lady, or yeah, I don't know. She's not an older lady, but like a teenager. But she was older than me, I guess. And yeah, we had this conversation for about an hour, and at some point I felt like, what the fuck am I trying to, defend here or argue? Or I'm just like, wow, it's gonna change my mind now, like animals don't want to get killed, and they always get killed no matter if you look after them well or bad, or if it's factory farmed, or if it's whatever. They always get killed for dairy, eggs. And yeah, that's where everything changed for me. I didn't need that much, and I grabbed some pamphlets and flyers and went back to the hostel and started outreaching there. I was like, guys, do you know about this? This is crazy. I'm vegan now.
Awesome.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah, Cube of Truth is pretty impactful. I know some of their
so good.
Some of their methods are like definitely controversial, but it is a way to get people to see the actual footage and what's actually going on in the slaughterhouses. And I feel like there's just no way people can watch that footage and not have empathy for the animals and what they're going through.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a big supporter of them, and yeah, I always say that I'm a big supporter of people when they're outreaching, that they're unapologetic, that just hold people accountable, or do it in a way where it feels natural for you, because she outreached me in a way where she held me accountable the whole time. She didn't like say, oh, it's okay, just take your time. No, she was like, that's the facts, and I think you're old enough to understand that, and that was the best thing that have happened.
I agree. I think as vegans, or at least myself in my journey, I would try and convince people with kindness, like, oh, you can take your time, it's okay, you can 1 meal a day or 1 meal a week. But at the end of the day, animals are still dying, and that's why I've kind of changed with my outlook. I'll still tell somebody, if you can do 1 meal a day, that's way better than nothing. But I will voice it more of like, I'll try to empower them, like, hey, you're really powerful, you control the money, you control what you put into your mouth. When you go down the supermarket aisle, you can pick here, or you can pick here, and one kills an animal and one doesn't. So you can make an impact today, and try to encourage people that way, to try and show them that they have the power to change, versus just guilting them or coddling them. I think your music does a good job of that. You tell it how it is. I heard and I was listening to some of your songs before this. You call them body parts. It's not just meat. It literally is body parts. You include like don'twatch.org, Dominion, Pignorant. Like, you encourage people to go do further research, I guess, in case somebody comes across your music without outright knowing all of the things that we know. And I think that's my goal as an activist, is just to educate people on what's really happening. Like Brooke said, if they have a heart, they'll see this and not agree with it. So yeah, I think just putting it out there. And I have no clue where this train of thought was headed. So
have you had any? Oh, I was going to ask you if you've had any negative responses or pushback to your animal rights songs.
I would say no, but yes, but I don't know. Like, there's so many like hate comments or like trolls on there, but I am so happy that they're there, because they push the content.
Yeah.
I remember when I released Exposed, I released this song mainly for me. I didn't even think that it will, like, I was like, who is gonna listen to animal rights rap? Like, no one gives a fuck about that. Can I curse on here, or is?
Of course.
Fuck yes.
Oh, okay. Fuck yeah. Yeah, I was like, who's gonna give a fuck about a thing? So I mainly made it for myself, because I love rap, and veganism is an important topic to me. So I made this song, but I realized, oh wait, vegans actually fuck with this music, which I didn't even think about, because I was like, if someone hears this track, that isn't vegan, then it's a plus. But I didn't think about the vegans that might, or the activists that like this. So I didn't get any hate. I was just like, support and love, support. And then at some point I was like, where are all these haters? Like, usually vegan posts and vegans get a lot of trolls and hate, but then at some point they came, and where everything kind of took off way more, like 10x. And yeah, it's, so I wouldn't say it's like pushback, or like, because it's just trolls, it's just like the usual shit as always, but it's not someone actually criticizing in a way where I'm like, let me think about this. No, it's just comments. It's not even DMs. Like, no one sent, like, I haven't gotten any DMs saying, hey, this is shit, or like, no, it's just comments, that everyone can read. And the crazy thing is, which is the biggest compliment for me, I guess, in the comment section, is when people say, oh, he's deleting comments, he's removing comments. No, like, these haters just can't understand or accept that the vegan movement and activists are so like supportive, and they left a lot of comments. Wow, this is dope, sick, wow, amazing, blah, blah, blah. So that these haters think, oh, I'm removing all the bad comments, because the ratio is just different. There's so much support. It's not just trolls in there. So yeah, it's always so funny.
Very true. The trolls can help. I mean, they can help. They can help push out an algorithm. I've noticed. I've collabed on other animal rights posts, and it's like, you get one person in there saying one thing negative, and then you get 10 vegans jumping in saying something positive. So now you got 11 comments, and it's like, if the troll hadn't commented, you might have gotten one comment. Yeah. So I've noticed that. What about like professionally? Like, when you go to work with producers or other artists, do you get any pushback from your message there?
Not so far, to be honest. I mean, I didn't really collab that much anyway, because I just like doing my own thing for now. But I've collabed with a few people, and like, one of them, like the song that is coming out at midnight tonight, the metal version, is actually a animal rights activist and musician themselves. He just does it in a different genre. It's like deathcore or metal or whatever you want to call it. And then another producer of mine, he's not vegan, but he never said anything. So at some point I think he's maybe gonna get the message more. I don't know. But yeah, I don't think people that are not vegan and are in this business or in this industry would have a big problem, because it's always very appreciated when there's something new or something with a message, like if it's, yeah, of course, like you can have different opinions on things, but I think most people are still gonna appreciate it, because even in real life I got a lot of comments and they're like, wow, it's great that you push this message and that you stand behind it, even if they're not vegan, but they appreciate it, but yeah, mainly my goal is to turn people vegan, not to say they appreciate it but they're not going to turn vegan. I prefer them turning vegan and not appreciate me. But yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we got one guy in, I think you said that more of like the harder metal.
Yeah.
I know
his name is Becco Music on Instagram. Definitely check him out. He's super dope. He released a full animal rights album as well. It's hard, if you like hard music, then he's a goat.
What how do you spell that?
Becco, so it's Becko.
Becco. All right,
yeah,
cool. I'll check that out.
Super good. Yeah.
Going to the gym after this, so I'll find some stuff to listen to.
Yeah, for sure. His album is called Rage.
Rage.
Okay. Yeah, animal rights album.
So I heard from a friend that's into like punk rock, and he actually runs a vegan restaurant as well. That there was like kind of a veganism movement in punk rock decades ago. Like that's the first place that it kind of started, like musically. You have the rap sector. Is this like very uncommon for there to be vegan animal rights music artists? Like, I mean, you were the only one that I knew of prior to this conversation. Do you have a lot of competition?
Well, I wouldn't even call it competition, because I think it would be just like beneficial if people make music about these topics. I think that's what divides us in this genre of like rap, vegan rap thing, because it's not like, oh, it's a competition. It's like, oh, sick, let's speak up. But yeah, it might be true that there aren't as many, but there are definitely a few. There's a lot of bands actually, okay, we talk about rap. There are rappers or like more hip hop artists. But I think the way, like with this aggression and pointing it out the way it is, I think it's very nichey, or like, it's not that many, because I've heard it many times that people said, oh, I haven't heard this before, or I didn't know this exists. So yeah, I guess it's not that many out there, but yeah, there's always someone as well, here and there. Yeah.
Okay. I like how you said it's not competition. I guess you're all kind of on the same team if you're doing it for animal rights.
I mean, yeah, vegan rappers don't have beef, so
literally.
Yeah. But if non-vegan rappers want beef, like, let's run it up. But I'd rather spend my time speaking up for animals than useless beefs.
Yeah. All right, more personal questions. So is this your full-time job, is creating this music, or you got to do stuff on the side? Where are you at?
That would be crazy after 2 years being just like, yo, this is what I'm doing. No, it's not my full-time job. I'm definitely working towards it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying this is just a hobby. I'm spending a lot of time making music, thinking about music, thinking about promotional things, and it's a constant thought process. But I'm a videographer, so I like shoot videos, weddings, any type of promotion. My only premise is like, I don't shoot anything that has like to do with meat or stuff like that. So I don't care, what the job might be or the gig might be. I'll straight away decline it. I remember when I started out being more active in videography and making my first money with it, there was like a gig and they offered me like, I don't know, 6K or something for a promotional video. And that was huge money for me at that point, at that time. But they said, oh, it's for a like kebab shop. I was like, I didn't even think a second. I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. And I'll still remember that feeling so vividly. It felt so good declining 6K for not shooting something like that. And yeah, and that's how it always stayed, because I'm like, if I'm shooting promotional content for them, I'm promoting their business. I'm promoting that their business looks good. And if someone is chopping up body parts and I'm promoting that, then I don't want to make that look good, because there's nothing good about it. So yeah.
I mean, it speaks to your character. It also speaks to like where I think most people fail in this is just chasing the money. Because like if we didn't have the demand from all the meat suppliers that are just chasing money, they like everybody that makes meat, if we could offer them more money to make plants, they'd go with wherever the money is. Like they're not tied to meat, they're just tied to the money. So that's awesome. Well, I definitely wanted to ask about this because I'm also actually you had mentioned Lil Wayne and Eminem. Who else do you listen to rap wise? Those are some of the original ones for me as well.
Okay, those are the original ones. I don't listen to them as much anymore. But my top three. So number one, NF, in terms of rap. Number one, controversial one, but number two is MGK, Machine Gun Kelly. I performed with him on stage actually. I have his guitar pick here. So yeah, he's just one of my favorite artists. And who else? Yeah, there are a few, but I'm just always like, when I have to name them, I kind of forget them because I like keeping it top three. I don't like to say it because his lyrics or his like political stance isn't what I agree with, but music wise, I've been listening to like Tom McDonald recently. I don't know if you know this guy.
I don't know him.
I don't want to get into politics or anything, but he's, I think, on a pretty, controversial side. I'm not from the US, so I don't know what exactly he's talking about, because he's actually Canadian, but he has US citizenship and raps about US government and politics and stuff like that. So, but I kind of feel inspired by his music because he got me into listening to that type of stuff that I don't even know anything about, but I listen to it because I like his flows, his rhyme schemes, his music. So that's kind of where I'm trying to head. I'm trying to make people listen to animal rights music without them knowing that it's animal rights music, I want them to listen to this type of music without like skipping it and say, oh, I'm not vegan, I don't care about this. I want them to be, oh, this is dope, what is this? Oh, let me just work out to this. And at the end they're like, oh wait, was he talking about like animals or what's going on? Let me re-listen, and so I'm not saying that I agree with every artist and every lyric and blah blah blah. I'm just saying from a musical point, there's a lot of people that I look up to or like because they develop a way of making music that draws you in without fully like understanding what's happening topic wise.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah. 100%.
I feel like you have a very similar vibe. I like NF a lot. And I do actually like some of MJK's songs. I mean, some of them are really good actually. Like no matter what you think about him, I do think some of his songs are pretty good, but I do feel like you have a very similar vibe. I can see why you connect with them.
Yeah, it's funny because I actually found out about NF only, I don't know, 3 years ago when I made my first cover, because I've been making my own music for 2 years, but I've been making covers and someone said, "Oh, you sound like NF," and I was like, "Wait, who is this?" And then I looked up NF, and then he became my favorite rapper. So I was like, "Well, thank you for that." But yeah, it's funny because I really like feel that they're really like the style that I love. So yeah, thank you for that.
I can see the resemblance. I also, for the last few years, have been a huge MGK fan. Like,
sick.
very, very big into him. I watched the documentary where I think it was Mainstream Sellout, and that's kind of why I was asking, like, how long does it take you to make songs? Because it was cool to watch him go through that process. I also
but
think
I
it was
would say
interesting.
he's on a different, like, he's been making music for such a long time. So I think even for myself, like, the process will change, like you might have an idea and jump on the mic and try something and you're pretty much done. But I think for a lot of artists, it's even if they're finished the song, they're like, oh, maybe let's rewrite it, maybe let's try find another melody here. They're like, they work on a song for maybe 6 months even, because they know what they're capable of or what they're looking for. And they also have, because they're like, oh, this has to beat all the other stuff. For me, it's like, if I fuck with the song, I can release it. No one's gonna tell me, oh, your other stuff was better, because it's not that there's hundreds of songs out there, so I have the luxury of kind of like just going with what I feel like. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. And you're still so young in your career that you can completely redefine it over time. Like MGK started out, to the best of my knowledge, with like kind of more hardcore rap, then into rock. Now he's doing country, and I'm like, this dude's gonna be fun to listen to, like, in another 5 years, because he'll be doing something else. Like, and
that's
he
what I
does
love
look
about him, because he just does it well. Like, that's where I draw the line. It's like, if I listen to it and I like it, then it's good. It doesn't matter who it is, whatever. Like, I just don't get this thing of like, oh, he used to do this. Why is he doing this now? Well, because he can.
Yeah, and I think he wants. I think he connects with the music, and I think that's why, for me, I like MGK so much, is because it feels relatable. Like, yes, he's this
for sure
multi-million-dollar rock star that travels the world, like, one of the best artists alive, but he writes and displays his music in a way that I can relate to him. I can connect with him, like, on an
for
emotional
sure.
level.
Same.
So I want you to tell. I saw some of it on your Instagram. Like, tell me the story of how you actually managed to get on stage and perform a song with MGK, because I think there's probably a handful of people that have done that in their lives. So how did you make that happen?
So that was in September 2022, and I haven't had a single song yet. So I was kind of on that beginning journey of making my own music, or just finding my way into making music. But I loved covering songs, and I loved listening to them, and just like feeling as if it would be me, like performing or making this song. And then I got tickets to this MGK concert. So yeah, something within me just said, just make a poster, just write, let me rap El Diablo with you. And I just felt this, you have to do this, it's gonna happen. And it took me a while to make this poster as well, because it was like a big poster, and like you have to fill it out with like all black, and make it big so you can see it. And something within me said, oh, you're really gonna make this poster now and do all this? And then, yes, you're gonna do this, and you're gonna do this. I even made a video the same night when I finished it, where I filmed myself in the mirror. I was like, I feel that tomorrow something crazy is gonna happen. I'm not sure what yet, but I feel like something's happening. And because I felt it so much, that I was like, I need a proof for myself, for that I knew it already. And yeah, we got to the concert, and I had this poster, and the crazy thing is, no one was actually allowed in there with posters, but for somehow I was the only one who got in with one. I only found out I only found that out after the concert. So I was like even more that was supposed to happen. But anyway, we got in. I knew exactly when the song will come on. I had the poster up there, and a few songs before, he looked at it and he laughed and he did like this. So I was like, well, I was like, he saw it, but I don't know what the fuck that means now. Is that like, yeah, no, or yes, or maybe, or whatever? So 2 minutes before it happened, someone from the back like tried to grab me or my poster, rip it down, and it's like, it's not gonna fucking happen. Get the fuck away from here. And I was like, dude, relax, chill. And then like a minute later, spotlight goes down into the crowd, and MGK is like, come on, motherfucker, come on. And the crowd like split wide open, and he's like, you got a mic for him? You got a mic for him? Security dragged me over the fence. They checked my bags. I was like, don't check it, just take it. I don't have time to waste. I got up there on stage and yeah, just said hi to him, and it felt so like, I know this sounds weird, but I was not nervous because I knew this is gonna happen, and I prepared myself so much for this. Mentally, I don't know. There was like 20,000 people in the arena. All I was seeing is lights, and he's like, "There's a lot of words in this song, but let's see what you got," And he looked at me when the song started, and then at some point he realized, oh, he knows the lyrics. We chilling, we good. And then we like performed it, and when I watched back the clips, there was so many moments we were like in sync. We like raised the hand and like did this, and he did this like in sync. It was wild. So people asked me, was this like set up or anything? I was like, I wish I had the contact to him and could set this up. So no, this was not set up. It was supposed to happen, and even before this happened, I told myself, if this is going to happen tonight, music is my way, is my journey. And yeah, that's probably why it happened so easily, because something within said, you have to do this, and just trust your feelings. And yeah, unfortunately, that's I don't have any I didn't come backstage or get to talk to him anymore. But yeah, he was super respectful and kind. And at some point, security came and was like, "Okay, you have to go off stage now," because they were kind of nervous, because if something happens on stage, they're screwed. Like
Yeah.
They were not sure, am I gonna attack him, or am I gonna break my leg, or what's happening? And then also at some point of the song, he went up like, before that happens, because if I go up there, probably is not a good idea. So security took me, and I was about to leave, but he like ran after me and tapped my shoulder. It was like, bye. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, I forgot to say bye or anything, but he like chased me to say bye. That is like so insane. And yeah, that was definitely the best moment of my life so far. Yeah.
So far. Oh man, that's
So
awesome.
far, yeah.
You already answered one. Like, I was going to ask if you were nervous, because like to be there with MGK, to be there in front of the people. I think though, what I've done is nowhere near in comparison. But what I'll say is, like, when you prep for a bodybuilding show and you put your heart into it for 4 to 6 months, like,
yeah, of course.
I'm not a very public person. I get nervous to go on stage. Like, I had to pose at an event, and I was so nervous for that, because it wasn't a bodybuilding event. But at the bodybuilding one that I was prepared for, I wasn't nervous at all. I was just ready for it.
Yeah.
Brooke, do you feel the same way? Like, when I think you like, well, I don't know, you enjoy prep, but I don't enjoy prep, but I enjoy the stage.
No, I'm the total opposite. I love prep, love it. But I hate being on stage. I like show day. I like getting my hair done. I like getting my makeup done. I like putting the bikini on, the heels on. I like the tan. But those like 15 seconds that you're on stage doing your routine and people are judging you, oh yeah, like I just like black out. Like I can't even remember being on stage. Like it's just like a wash. And probably why my posing sucked at my last show, but but yeah, I get so nervous. yeah, I don't know. I just get nervous I'm gonna fall or like something's gonna happen, you know, like gonna fall on my face, gonna blow it.
Oh yeah, that would be terrible if you do
So
all that
terrible.
work and then, you know.
For me, I feel like it's easier. I just got to hit a few poses, and nobody knows if I mess up. But you're not even rapping your own song. You'd be rapping someone else's song. So like they already know the lyrics. They know if you miss a word. I think what's interesting here with this story, like the fact that he ran back up to you and he said bye. We forget, even us on this podcast, the people listening, MGK is just a human, just like anyone else.
Oh, for sure.
And like
Yeah,
we
of
put them
course.
on these pedestals of like these great people, these people that have done what nobody else has. But at the end of the day, they're still a person. I've talked with multiple Olympian winners, like the highest people in bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And after a 20-minute conversation, you're like, they're just a person. They're a person like me or you. They've just done some crazy things. Yeah. But what a cool story. So when did you get the guitar pick? How did that happen?
So he does this thing where he goes like towards the crowd and does his like move or something. I don't know. I saw this pick on the ground and I was like, am I gonna grab it? Am I gonna grab it or no? Ah, fuck it, just grab it. And I grabbed it and put it in my pocket because I was like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I should feel bad for it or not, but you know, I just now I'm so happy that I have this moment kind of, you know, always with me, but it's a guitar pick. Who gives a fuck? He's not gonna be mad. Oh, you owe me a guitar pick. It's it's just my mind that was like, oh, I want a memory of this moment.
I don't blame you at all. Is Travis Barker still on his like his drummer?
He's not his drummer. He used to be, I think, or he definitely did a few songs with him, but he has a different drummer. His name is Rook. But he kind of fucked up his leg so bad that he's he has been in a wheelchair for the last, I don't know, year or something. So they have a replacement drummer. So yeah.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say if we could get Travis Barker and you to talk to MGK, get him to go vegan, because Travis Barker last I heard is vegan as well.
Yeah. That's so cool.
So where like where do you want to take this? Assuming everything goes your way, you keep doing music, you keep doing activism. Where's like the best place you'd be in a year or two? What are your goals like as far as taking this to whatever the next level is for you?
Definitely bringing the animal rights message in the rap genre closer to the mainstream. Like I'm not saying that I'm gonna be up there with, you know, the really mainstream artists right now, because I'm working towards somewhere, you know, but I'm also being realistic. And for me, just, you know, being able to be on the radio or stations like this with a different type of message that people are used to, that is already a goal, you know, of having a message in the radio, or just I would say closer to mainstream, not on the mainstream, but closer to mainstream. And then every year kind of like grinding towards that. And just, you know, trying to trend with the music, to kind of like dig into the bigger audiences, and just expose them to this type of music and this type of message, really. So I'm trying to really craft my music in a way where I'm not giving away too much initially, you know, where I'm just saying animals, where it's like some subtle way of leading into the songs and dropping a few lines here and there for some songs. But some songs obviously are gonna be like, you know, exposed, where it's just, I don't give a damn what you think of me, I'm on a mission to fuck up the industry, you know, where it's like straight away, okay, he's really coming for it, you know. So and also make other type of music if I feel like to, you know. I don't want to put myself in a box and saying I only have to make animal rights music and only this message. I I feel like that is what's really motivating me and keeps me focused, when I know the message is this, and there's just no, like, I don't feel like, this is worthless. This is no, because it connects with people. There's a strong message behind it, so I don't lose motivation or focus or purpose. With other songs, it's like, if they come to me, if I feel like this is what I want to make, then yeah, of course. But if I would have to make a career now out of making, I don't know, love songs or heartbreak songs, I'd say it would be kind of hard, because I would somehow lose the purpose in this, somehow. I'm not saying that I don't want to make them, because I like to kind of take a little break from these topics and dive into other topics, and then come back to the animal rights stuff, because yeah, it's very important. And yeah, I also want to try and make some type of yeah, like trying to sustain myself more with making music as well, like trying to make merch and stuff like that, trying to yeah, just do live events as well, or just seeing what people like and just building this community. And yeah, trying to find ways to do this without with doing less other things to do this. You know what I mean? Like, obviously you have to work to make music, and then, but if everything that I'm making in music is kind of like reinvesting itself, because it's not free and it's not cheap, then that's also a win, and one of my goals for the future. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Smart.
I think you'll be able to build that community. I mean, that's why I feel other artists that I follow have been successful, like Eminem and MGK. Obviously, like they ended up having, like, it ended up being a place where people with similar life experiences, similar values could come together. And if you do apparel, even if it's just the album covers, I think people would support that to support you. And that's another form.
That's really good. Yeah.
Another form of activism, because then if they're wearing an animal rights shirt, even if it's promoting your album, they're still promoting animal rights and getting that conversation started. So
I'll show you something. Hold on. Ooh. Like, so this is a long story with this shirt, but this is the first kind of merch that is like the exposed print on the front, and then on the
Very
back,
cool.
there's like on the back it says they've been exposed, and it looks like a tour t-shirt, but it's like dates, and so it's like dates and slaughterhouses and farms that have been exposed all around the world and shut down, because I want to kind of show like the impact that activism had. So yeah, it has like places in USA, Italy, UK, Germany. Yeah.
Really cool. That's a cool idea.
So this is hopefully launching soon. Yeah.
I was about to say, where do I get one? You got to release them in the USA.
Yeah,
as well.
I'm still figuring stuff out. There's gonna be super limited availability, but I hope they will be they can get shipped to the US as well. Then.
Okay.
Totally.
Then, we can talk off air too. I might be able to get somebody here to make them as well that we could promote.
Wow, that would be amazing.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. I had a couple like last question before I let you go.
Sure, go for it.
What is the vegan scene like in Italy? Are there vegan options at the grocery store, restaurants? Like, what's your experience been in the last 6 years? Because in the United States, over like the last 2 decades, a lot has come out, but it was not great when I started. So I'm kind of curious what it's like in Italy as a kind of like a culture there.
Yeah, so the place I live in Italy it's like not really Italy, because I live in the Dolomites, in the Alps, in the mountains. So I'm technically in Italy, but it's like so on the border to Austria and Switzerland, so that we're considered actually like Austrians. That's why I don't have an Italian accent, but I speak Italian. So I would say in Italy, it's really good. It's kind of, it's like everywhere. Like what you have in the US, we will have in Italy as well somehow. Maybe not like the chains or or certain products, but there's just similar versions in a Italian kind of company, or there's the options are good. Like in the supermarkets, they're good. It's maybe not as of like you go from one place to the other and they have like vegan options displaying everywhere. They're still kind of like trying to be traditional and offering like traditional Italian food, how it's always been. But the supermarkets are really good. Like especially where I live, the supermarkets have insane stuff, like even more than you need. Like if I hear a single excuse about, oh, I don't know, I'm like, for people not watching, there's like, I'm like, come on, man. Like there's so much.
Yeah. People just make excuses.
Yeah.
All right. Last request. Can you just like, I don't know if you're able to do this or not, so please don't feel obligated, but can you just like rap on the spot? Is that a skill that you've acquired?
Of course. Like, why wouldn't I?
I don't know. I mean, yeah. So I mean, if there's anything you want to spit or throw out there, just for my own personal curiosity.
Is there like a song? Is there a song request? Or I mean, I can't freestyle, so I can't give you like really a good freestyle. But if you have I don't know, a song or a verse or something that you want to hear.
What's either your favorite song or verse? Is it Exposed?
Well, actually, let's do it from Exposed because it's gonna come out at midnight. So
yeah.
I don't give a damn what you think of me. I'm on a mission to fuck up the industry, open these cages, these animals innocent. And you think that you can define all their rights with a pen and a paper and tell us it's ethical because it's traditional. Shut the fuck up, it's conditioning. And fuck all the small talk, I'm coming straight to the point. You know that they suffer a miserable life in the darkness, but you chop them up into pieces. I'm wrapping them in plastic to sell out their bodies and markets. All that you care is the profits. Yeah, that is disgusting. And not that I read all this shit on the internet. I've seen it all with my own eyes. Innocent babies are loaded on trucks and they're shipped to the country they're destined to die in a slaughterhouse. You making money off body parts. Enough is enough. Your time is up. I'm exposing your lies on my Spotify. And they do not want you to know that they're going to shred all the male chicks on the first day. Yeah, as soon as their head should get thrown in the trash, they don't lay eggs, so they cannot make any money off that. And what about dairy? That must be different. I'm telling you, dairy is scary because babies are taken away from their mothers. It's crazy that we flood a space. We got to sit down and debate about billions of animals being enslaved because we want to take what is theirs. Yeah, I got the whole verse.
I love it.
So good. So good.
I love
Thank
it.
you. Appreciate it.
It's interesting. Like I was literally in the moment listening to this, and it's so cool that you were rapping about activism, and at the same time, the words make me sad.
Yeah, I know.
This is happening. I feel like a lot of activists get burnt out over time. So do whatever you need to do for you, sir, to keep your head in a happy place while going through these dark things.
That's a nice thing to say.
I genuinely believe the world needs more people like you, and if we don't as a species make a change soon, there's not going to be much left over for anyone. So thank you, Feldi, for sharing your story and for getting out there and putting this out there. I don't think many other people have these gifts to use in this way, so it's really an honor to get to know you better and to share this. That's all I have. Brooke, if you got any more questions, feel free.
Wow, thank you so much. Appreciate that so much. I don't know if I cut out, but I tried. I just said, well, I thank you guys too. You know, I'm rapping, but you guys are, lifting, writing cookbooks, inspiring people. Like, I always say if there's someone who's turning people vegan, that's good. But if then there's no one out there who inspires them in other ways of like, look, this is how you can cook a good recipe. This is where you can get protein sources from. This is how you build muscle. This is how you stay active. This is
Yeah, 100%. I think
that's why everyone should follow their purpose. Oh, cut out?
Yeah, agree.
It cut out. Technical difficulties always.
Yeah.
Like you said, follow your purpose, and I think we all have a part to play. If Brooke can teach people how to make fun recipes, if I can show people they're not going to be weak and skinny just because they don't kill animals, if you can, through creative lyrics, open people's eyes and their minds to another way to live, we're all doing our part. So I don't think we've had really any. I'll classify you as an activist probably before anything else, or an activist artist. I don't think we've had anybody else quite in that realm on here. I guess Karen is kind of there because most of his stuff is activism based, but it's also more educational for bodybuilding as well. But you're in a unique spot here, sir. Hopefully we have a lot more of you in the future, and it's not competition. Like you said, we're all on the same team. So
yeah,
I think that's all I got. Brooke, do you got any more questions?
No questions. Just, yeah, thanks for coming on. Your lyrics are amazing, very impressive, and just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much. I can give the same back to you guys.
Oh, no, of course. So where is the best way for people to find you? I'm assuming you're on like all platforms.
Yeah. You have to be now these days, So the best way to find me is on Instagram. I am Feldi, Feldi. That's when you get there, you basically find everything else, because there's a link tree to my Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. But yeah, on all the other streaming platforms, my artist name is Feldi. So yeah, I had to pick that on Instagram. I am Feldi because the other name was taken. But yeah, my artist name is Feldi, and you can find me on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, Bandcamp, whatever you're listening music to. And yeah, I don't know if there's any other platforms. Yeah, TikTok, but not really using that much. Yeah, isn't that banned in the US?
Sort of.
We got it back. Yeah, we
you
got it back.
I can't get CapCut back. I deleted it off my phone because it wasn't working.
And what?
Weird.
Oh my god!
And it's like you're not allowed to read down. So I have it on one phone. It's not on this phone, but it is on this phone. So I'm not going to delete it off this phone.
That's
but
crazy.
Now it's like, unless I keep both phones with me, I can't edit. So, anyways,
I love your tattoo, by the way. It's sick.
Oh,
yeah, it's cool. It's just in your face.
Thank you. Yeah, it's I used to dress like you, sir, like all in black and not. People wouldn't approach me or talk to me as much. So now I got the green hair and the tattoo, and
yeah, sick.
People still ask this week, "Are you really vegan? Are you really vegan?"
Oh,
and I'm like,
yeah.
What are you seeing? They're like, it could be a joke, and I'm like,
yeah.
And then I ask them, I'm like, why would it be a joke? And they're like, oh, I don't know. And I'm like, yeah, you don't
because
know.
You're that big.
Anyway,
you can't be.
But all right, I'm gonna wrap this up. I know we all got places to be. Feldi, thank you so much for coming on, brother. Everybody go check out his music, give him some support, share his stuff, because I just recently found it myself, and it's some very impactful stuff. All right, this has been another episode of the Vegans Who Live podcast. You guys can find us at theveganwholivepodcast.com. Drop us a question if you like, and we will be back next week with another episode. Take care, everybody.